The most underrated striker in the Premier League. Some might say it's Ollie Watkins or even Evan Ferguson. But for me, it's Eddie Nketiah. A man who's not world class but will consistently be that stopgap for your team. But still, occasionally gets hated on by Arsenal fans.
A goal and he's done it.
He's done it, exactly.
He's got the goal.
Exactly.
DT, you was having a go at him, but he got the goal.
Yeah, you was.
Oh, wow.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Listen, he's still not good enough for Arsenal. He still doesn't go in place of Lacazette while he's out. Not good enough.
No, but he's going to figure.
But he's still
gonna have to...
If he figures, we ain't winning shit.
So today, I'm going to show you why Eddie Nketiah is underrated. First, let's kill the debate of Nketiah versus Balogun. Balogun is a slightly better finisher than Eddie, but keep in mind he did this in a much easier league. Besides that, Eddie beats him in everything else. Assists, creativity, shot creating actions. Balogun is much more of a traditional 9 who strictly will score you goals. Versus Eddie, who's much more of that false 9 Jesus build. He might not get you the amount of goals that Balogun does, but he'll get that team much more involved in the game, as you could tell by the passing stats. Eddie completes more passes and even has a better pass completion than Balogun. In terms of progressive passes, Balogun beats him there, but Eddie beats him in basically everything else with progressive carries, successful take-ons, touches in the opposition box, and this just shows you how much Eddie involves the other players surrounding him. But I think the next area is where Eddie completely distinguishes himself, and that's the defensive part. With Balogun playing in a much worse team than Eddie last season, you would think that he would have more tasks to complete on defense, but it's actually the exact opposite, with Eddie basically beating him in every attacking stat. More tackles, more blocks, more clearances, and even more aerial duels. Eddie's undisputedly one of the best pressers in the Premier League. The guy just runs all game long, and the saying goes, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And that's simply the case with Eddie. He's much better than people rate him out to be, in my opinion. He's got a great turn, strength, and a lovely shot. Even though he's not the most clinical or consistent, he doesn't score as a sub, which is a tough spot to be in for a substitute striker. But I think he's perfect for that backup striker role. Listen to what manager Mikel Arteta said on Eddie's mentality.
Delighted for him, because he's a role model. So he's a player that was so disappointed with the absence of Gavin not to play a final. And what he did is came on the field in the final and changed the game. That's number one. And the second one, the way he trained this week, he was telling me, Gaffer, if I don't play, you are blind, you know? So a lot of players come and say, why I'm not playing? And you have to try to explain. Other players, they tell you, these are the reasons why I have decided to play. And this is what exactly Eddie does. And this is exactly what he did. And then he goes on the pitch and he performs that way. So it's a clear example and very good example for everybody.
And so with that being said, Eddie's only valued at $25 million by Transfermarkt. With the striker market not looking too good right now, I'm surprised more teams haven't came in for him. In my opinion, if Eddie wanted to get more playing time, these would be the 3 best teams for him to join: Burnley, Brentford, and a cheeky West Ham. Eddie has yet to start more than 15 games in a Premier League season. Not because he's injury prone, but just due to the insane quality that Arsenal have up front. When Jesus is fit, there's no way Eddie's starting over him. So if he were to get a move to one of these mid-table teams and play week in, week out, I think that's where we could see the best out of him. Starting off with Burnley. In their case, they desperately need more depth up front. And in a worst case scenario, if they are relegated down to the Championship, at least you have a proven goal scorer there as well, with Eddie having a great 6 months with Leeds. And honestly, this just seems like a no-brainer to me. With Company wanting to play a more attacking style and free-flowing football, that would just suit Eddie right to the T. The second team is Brentford, but the key in this transfer would only be if Ivan Toney was set to leave. And I may be deluded, but I'm not deluded enough to think that Eddie's better than Toney. But since his suspension, Brentford really haven't missed him that much. They are playing a center mid up front in Wisa, but surprisingly, he's been playing really good. And if you add Eddie in there, you're going to be getting someone who never gets injured. And with how much Brentford create for their forwards, Eddie would absolutely eat. And finally, West Ham. This one is fairly straightforward. I mean, your main man, Mikel Antonio, is 33 years old now. How much longer can he keep producing at the rate that he's currently on? 1 year, maybe 2 if you're lucky. And especially with Scamacca now working, you need someone who can join and start scoring straight off the bat. With Eddie, if you give him the playing time, he'll guarantee you 10 goals a season. while also helping the team with pressing and even ball progression. Let me know down below where you guys think Eddie ranks in terms of strikers in the Premier League. You know, he'll never be a top 6 striker, but he'll get your team goals. That's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care and peace.